Hello and welcome to the Explainer. Today we're going to tackle a topic that can be a little tricky, but is absolutely essential for sounding natural in English: modal verbs. You know, words like can, could, must, and should. They seem small, but what do they all mean, and how do we use them correctly? Well, let's dive in and find out.
And it's so true. These little words can be confusing, because they don't just state facts, they add feelings, and they add context. They can show how certain you are, how polite you are. If something is a rule, they really do color your entire conversation. But don't you worry, we're going to break it all down for you.
I want you to think of this explainer as us building a mental toolkit together. By the end, you're going to have the right tool for every single situation, and you'll know exactly when and why to use it. Ready to get started? First up, certainty and possibility. This part is all about how we talk about what's possible, and, just as important, how sure we are about something. The first tool we're grabbing for this is the one we use for ability.
Okay, so let's start with ability. Now, in the present tense, can and be able to are pretty much the same. I can speak English means the same thing as I am able to speak English. Simple enough, right? But, and this is a big but, when we talk about ability in the past, you've got to be careful because there's a really important difference.
And here it is. This is a super crucial point that trips up a lot of people. It's the difference between a general skill you used to have and one single success. We use could for a general, past ability. Like, when I was young, I could ride a bike. But if you're talking about one specific moment where you succeeded, you need to use was able to. He was able to break the code means he did it. He succeeded at that one time. That's a key distinction to remember.
We also use modals to show how certain we are. Just think of it like a confidence scale. If you're not very sure, you'd use might, may, or could. Saying she could be late suggests, it's a possibility, maybe 50-50. But if you are very sure, because you've got some evidence, that's when you use should or must. He studied all week, so he must pass the exam. See the jump in confidence there?
So what about talking about possibilities in the past? It's actually really easy. You just add the word have right after the modal and then use the past participle of the verb. So someone asks, "Where's Lucy?" You could say, "I don't know, she might have gone home." You're just speculating about something that already happened.
All right, let's move on to our second section, rules and recommendations. This is where we'll dig into the difference between what you must do versus what you probably should do. And this is where modals get really powerful in our day-to-day lives.
The classic mix-up, must versus have to. Here's the deal. Must usually comes from an internal feeling. It's a strong personal need. I must organize my room. I'm the one who feels it's necessary. Have to, on the other hand, comes from an external rule or situation. I have to go to work. It's my job. The boss expects me. And a quick pronunciation tip, in natural speech, have to almost always sounds like hafta. I have to go.
Okay, listen up. If you only remember one thing from this whole section, make it this. Mustn't and don't have to mean completely different things. Mustn't is a strict prohibition. It means do not do this. It is absolutely forbidden. You mustn't touch that. But don't have to just means it's not necessary. You can do it if you want, but you don't need to. You don't have to come, but it would be nice to see you. This is a huge difference.
Let's try a quick one together. Okay, you see a sign. It says no swimming. A lifeguard comes over and says, "You swim here." What's the modal verb? Is it don't have to? No, of course not. It's a rule. It's prohibited. So the answer is, you mustn't swim here. See, you've totally got this.
Now, should is fantastic for giving friendly advice. You look tired. You should get some rest. It's just a helpful recommendation. But, and be careful here, when we use should have plus a past participle, the meaning changes completely. It becomes a criticism or a regret about something in the past. You should have studied more. It implies you didn't, and now there's probably a problem.
And on to our third and final category. This is all about social skills. How we ask for things, give permission, and just generally sound polite and respectful when we're talking to other people. This is key stuff.
And this table shows the politeness scale perfectly. Can is informal, it's what you use with friends. Can I borrow a pen? Could is the safe, polite, standard choice for most situations. Could I have some water, please? And then there's may. That's your most formal option, for when you want to show a lot of respect, like to a teacher or in a business meeting. May I begin?
You know, this whole idea of choosing your modal to set the right tone, it works for offers and suggestions too. Saying, shall we start, feels collaborative, like we're a team. And asking, would you like some tea, is a super polite and respectful way to offer something. See how your choice of word really changes the feeling of the sentence?
Phew! Okay, we have covered a lot of ground. We've officially built our modal verb toolkit. So now, let's do a quick final review to make sure all these new tools are organized in your mind and ready to go.
All right, here's a rapid-fire review of your new toolkit. Modals express ability with can and could. They show possibility and certainty with may, might, and must. They state obligation with must and have to. They help us give advice with should. They prohibit actions with the very important mustn't. And they help us with permission, requests, and offers using words like can, could, may, and would.
And now it's your turn to practice. So here's a little challenge for you. This week, I want you to write just 3 sentences. One thing you can do, one thing you must do, and one thing you should do. This will really help lock these ideas into your memory. So, to wrap this all up, remember this isn't just about grammar rules. Your choice of a modal verb sends a message. It shows respect, it shows confidence, and it says something about your relationship with the person you're talking to. They are small words, but they have a huge impact. So, what are your modals saying about you? Thanks for watching The Explainer.